Hey guys, Mrs. Vance here. So today we are going to learn how to draw a bunny, a fox, and a bear. We're going to do all three together in our sketchbook, and then you guys are going to pick your best, your favorite, to then redo nice and large and your absolute best on good paper. Okay? So I have my pencil, I have my magic rub, and we are ready to go. We're going to start with the bunny. I want you to always think about your paper being split in half horizontally and vertically as we draw, because that's how we are going to know that we are in the right spot and ready to go. I'm going to wait for my camera. It needs to focus a little bit. Give me 1 second here. Whoops. All right, hang on. All right, we are all fixed. So again, we are splitting vertically and horizontally, a very light kind of X on our paper or plus sign on our paper so that we know kind of which part of the paper I'm talking about as I speak. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to make a circle just below our halfway point on our paper, and I'm going to use that sketchy sort of method and go over and over and over a few times. Okay, once I have done that, I'm going to take my circle and I'm going to add kind of like a U shape underneath, and this shape is going to kind of not quite go all the way underneath the circle, so I want you to pay attention to where it kind of comes from. So on this side, it kind of comes from over here, and it's going to go kind of up to about our halfway mark on our paper. And then we're going to kind of duplicate that on the other side. So coming out this way, up, and then to the middle of our paper. So wanting to make them as symmetrical as possible, using my magic rub to like clean it up a little bit. So we've got our bunny's like nose area and the cheeks kind of formed. So now we're going to get the top of the head. And we're basically just going to connect the top of a head with kind of that rainbow arch. So we're going to come over and connect the two. Make sure that it's nice and symmetrical. We don't want it to look like our bunny has a little bit of a bump on his head. Okay? All right, that looks pretty good. Now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and add the ears and kind of the shoulder area. So our shoulders kind of connect right down here, and we're just going to make an arch to the side and an arch to the other side. Right now it looks like a little kid blowing a bubble with bubble gum, but we're going to go ahead and add the ears. And so we want to make sure they're on the right and the left side of the center. And we add in our ears. And our ears should go all the way up to the top edge of our paper and round out those tips a little bit. I have it a little too pointy right there. All right. So that's my sketchy version of the beginning of our bunny. So we've got a few more details to go. Now this is just my sketch version. So if it looks a little funky to you too, it just means I'm going to do a better job the next time I do it. So the next thing we're going to do is add in our eyes and our nose. And then we'll do some accent lines as well. So for our nose, we're just going to make kind of a U shape, almost like a rounded triangle. And that's going to go just above the midpoint in our circle down here. So kind of like a rounded triangle. And then down from here, we're going to go down and out to the side, down and out to the side. And that's our bunny mouth. And so that should be close to the bottom edge of your circle, the nose part of our bunny. Okay. Then from here, we're going to go ahead and add the eyes. And those are going to fall basically right on the kind of midline on the right and left side. So they're going to be like oval shapes. Think like jelly bean shapes. Right and left. And I'm double checking. I made this left one a little too small. And you can kind of color it in just to check your sizes, especially since this is our sketch. Okay. And then the last thing we have to do is we have to add some two lines where they're going to go from the ears and connect down to our nose. We're going to go from here down to here, from here down to here. And you know what it noticed is that my lines are a little off because my ears are off. So because my ears were a little not symmetrical, it made this line a little bit different. So I would definitely want to go and kind of clean that up and maybe change the angle of my ear a little bit. Right? So even Mrs. Vance doesn't get it right the first time. It's really difficult to make things symmetrical and to do things that you don't do very often, right? Like I don't draw bunnies all day long, but there's our bunny. So we've got enough information here to get these lines in, to move on to our next step, or to decide if the bunny is what you're going to go with. All right, so the next one that I'm going to do is the fox, and I'm going to put it in a completely separate video so that we don't take up too much of the internet all at once, because those long videos make it difficult. So I'll put my fox on this side here, and then I'll put my bear here. So I'll have 3 total drawings to choose from. So make sure you try them all before you decide which one you want to do for your final project.